Yo, what's up, guys? I'm back. I don't know how I managed to make it here, but video too. Um, Today we're gonna be reacting to Fern. Fern is like huge. If you guys don't know Fern, he does like a ton of animated, like animated stories of a ton of like realistic stuff that happens. I think most people who watch like what's his name, Joe Bartonelli or something like that. I started watching him recently. He does a lot of reaction to like Fern stuff. So Fern has done a ton of stuff like uh, you know, I guess animation of like the Zodiac Killer. I think he's done like Pablo Escobar, like just basically big events that people don't really know much about. And today, what I'm going to be reacting to is his video on the genius escape of the Alcatraz prison, which, to my knowledge, I know like a little bit about it. I know Alcatraz was like I think a prison like in the 60s in like New York, and there was I think four men plotting to escape Alcatraz. Like the main guy was like they were all like big robbers. Like the prison was just for like the worst of the worst. I think only three of the actual four actually like managed to escape because the fourth one like messed up something in like his vent. Like they were basically breaking walls to escape and created like a raft or some shit. Insane story. And the thing is, Alcatraz is like an island on like a huge body of water. So you would have to like swim through like ferocious waters just to escape the island. Um, I mean, not like let alone get past all the guards and like climb through the fences and all the shit they have. This is like maximum security prison. It was famous for never being, like never having escapees. That was like what it was known for. Knock on wood, don't jinx yourself because these guys escaped. Now, what makes the story remarkable from what I know is these guys were never seen again, which makes sense because you probably don't want to advertise after you escape from like maximum security, but no one actually knows if they survived or if they drowned or who knows what, if they disappeared, who knows what. But yeah, there's I think a movie on this. Fern does a ton of great stuff, so link is gonna be in the description down below. Let's watch this video. Let's get to it.
A man is running towards the shore. Behind, two guards are chasing. He's about to swim 1.4 miles to San Francisco Bay.
Oh,
A guard takes aim.
dude, that's like still loud. Oh my god. Wait, what? I do
Another
not
failed
remember it
escape.
looking like this.
34
Oh, okay,
tries,
okay.
34 failures.
Damn.
If a real breakout is ever going to happen, it
This
won't
is the island,
look
okay.
like this. No gunshots, no chaos. Instead, a plan so genius that nobody realizes that it's underway right now. Frank walks into the lunch hall.
This is the
Last
first, yeah,
night,
this is a
he
really
had a
smart guy,
breakthrough
I
idea.
think. This is like the main
This is his second year inside.
mind behind it.
Abandoned as a child, he slowly drifted into a life of robbing banks.
Looks German, no?
He takes a seat next to Alan West, a man he first met in another prison. Frank, we tunnel through the vents. How long will it take? Asks Alan.
Yeah, I think they cut a
months, but it leads to that
I
corridor.
think they cut a hole through
Frank
the vents
responds.
or something like that.
They speak quietly as the guards watch from afar. Both men were transferred here to
Drink
serve
water.
out their sentences because they'd already escaped from every other prison that had tried to hold them. Frank, but this is only the first phase. After, we must build
What?
escape equipment and...
Bro, is that a spoon? Oh my god, what?
After, we must build escape equipment in secret.
The spoon is
Only
crazy.
then can we break off the island. If the plan succeeds, history will be made. Alcatraz has been designed to be inescapable. Even if you get past the guards and patrols, you still have to swim over a mile in freezing waters until you reach land.
Yeah, Milo's crazy,
Suddenly,
bro.
a plate crashes. Heads turn.
Is it crazy to say I can't swim?
Frank slips a spoon into his uniform. Planning without the guards noticing is easy. But now comes the hard part.
Bro, my
Every chip
upstairs
in the
neighbor's
wall
trolling me right now.
incriminates them.
Can we ban him?
Dust chippings coat the floor. Frank has been digging for the last 3 hours straight. But after doing this every single night for the last 2 months, he's barely 30%
Oh, is that the noise
done.
of them rollerblading? Oh my
Frank
god.
hides his spoon in his musical instrument.
Bro, hold on. Okay. My upstairs neighbor the other day I was like on the balcony with a friend. We were just talking, and like we hear someone's voice start talking, and we're like, dude, who the fuck is that? And it was upstairs neighbor like talking to us from their balcony, and she was like introducing herself and like saying like welcome to the neighborhood. And then she came downstairs and like knocked on my door and then gave me like a sticky note with like her like info on it, because apparently she's rollerblading inside and wanted to know if like I could hear or if it was too loud, and said like just text me if it's too loud. I'm realizing now those loud noises must be the rollerblades like gliding against it, because that shit is loud, but like it's like creepy loud because it sounds like someone's like banging something, like banging the floor with a rod. But I guess it's just like the slides, I guess. I don't like the, when you slide with one leg and then slide with the other. I don't know. I
and
don't know.
covers the digging with a
Side
mixture of
topic.
toilet paper
I'll mute the mic,
and
my bad.
soap. Then it happens. Guard inspection, everyone out. Frank quickly grabs his concertina and places it over the vent. Frank and Alan have been individually digging their own tunnels, alongside the new additions of their team. The prisoners file out. Frank
So actually
looks
digging
straight
with a
forward.
spoon.
The
Okay,
guard
I'm so
approaches
confused.
Clarence Anglin. "Show me your cell," he demands. Frank's pulse quickens. If Clarence did not cover his tracks, the escape is over before it has begun. Clarence and his brother John Anglin, sentenced for bank robbery, are the newest members of the team.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
With just
Yeah.
2 tunnels, discovery is unlikely. But with 4 men digging, the chances have increased dramatically.
Oh, they were that far apart. I thought they
The
all like
guard
shared.
walks inside.
Or like we're all like in a
Clarence's
line.
tool is hidden
Interesting.
in his accordion. The patch covering the start of his tunnel is still wet. He flips the bed and strips the pillowcase. A long pause. He locks eyes with Clarence. Clear. Alan is looking worried. His digging has not been covered. It's fully exposed. The guard starts heading directly towards him. If one
Oh,
person is
shit.
missing, the prison will go into complete lockdown. Then he says it. "Inspection over." Frank walks back into his cell. The 13th head count of the day is complete. The guard's search was lazy, but next time, it won't be.
What do you guys think they like mainly look for when they're doing like inspections? Like shanks, phones? I mean, it's obviously not here, but like what are they looking for? Because if I feel like it's just weird, because if you allow personal items, like how far do personal items go? Because this dude has a fucking accordion. I think I recall when I was learning about this, they had a music hour. There was like 1 hour throughout the day where you could play music, so the prisoners would have music. And I'm guessing the accordion was I forget this guy's name, Englewood, Clarence, Edward, this dude right here. And they said that like during music hour, like one of the guys would be playing the music, and then the other guy would be like chipping or drilling into the wall, so people couldn't hear what they were doing, because obviously you can't just do it in the middle of the day. But I am curious, like if we have accordions, we have like probably trumpets or some shit. I don't know. Like what are they really looking for? Just shanks, like sharp shit? I don't know. I don't know. Excuse me.
One thing is clear. If the tunnel continues to take this long, they are in
29%.
serious
Okay.
trouble. Every extra night brings them closer to being caught. They need to speed up,
Oh, okay.
and
I was-
fast.
Oh, my bad,
Loud
chat.
chatter fills
Oh,
the
my
lunch hall.
bad.
Frank leans into Alan. "I know how we can dig faster." Each member of the escape is selected for trust, but also their unique expertise. "We need to steal a motor and electrical cord. With this, we can make a drill," says Frank. "What about the noise?" says Alan. "Don't worry, I have an idea for that," replies Frank. Inside Alcatraz, every prisoner is assigned a job, a way to earn better food, small privileges, and even reduce their sentence. Alan, a repairman, often gets broken gear. Today, one of the items he needs to repair is a vacuum. In the workshop,
Yeah,
Alan opens it up.
I don't get this. How do you trust these guys with fucking saws and shit, dude? Like, I don't know. Does it depend on like the severity of the prison? Obviously, you want like some form of reformation. Like you want these guys to be able to live normal jobs. But in what world does you know, if a dude is convicted fucking murderer, like, are we giving him a saw? I'm not. I don't know. I don't know.
If he declares it as unfixable,
That's a
nobody
weird
will
one.
give it a second thought. He locates the motor, then slips it into his pocket. Electrical cords are stored in another part of the room.
Shoot.
He walks over,
Damn,
scanning.
bro, I'm yawning, bro. I'm tired.
Nobody seems to be looking. He grabs one. Stealing a motor and cable is not hard, although the same can't be said for the items they will need later. The work shift ends, and prisoners head back to the cells. Alan sees Frank. Hey, take this.
Bro,
Frank
he did
walks
not
back
hand
to
him
his
that
cell,
big ass object,
tense,
bro.
not for fear of being caught,
No
but
shot.
because everything depends on this.
Okay,
If
Fern's
the
animation
drill
has gotten
works,
10 times
he
better,
can
by the
move
way.
much closer to
This looks-
building the
this is-
escape
yeah, this is
equipment
definitely really
that will
old.
allow them to break free.
Just stuff now looks way better.
Later that night,
What
while
is
everyone
that?
is sleeping, he fixes
The
a
motor,
piece of
right?
scrap metal to the motor.
Yeah, okay.
Using an electrical cord, he attaches it to the wires inside the ceiling light. He turns it on. Suddenly, a
Oh.
prisoner shouts, "Who is making that noise?" Frank quickly yanks the electrical cord out. The motor is too loud. Alcatraz has a strict rule of silence
So they
in
were
the cells.
using a spoon
Even
at
the
first,
faintest of
but got
sounds
the motors
become noticeable.
to speed it up because they noticed it was
Right
taking so
now,
long. Okay.
it's impossible
Then they started
for
using the
Frank to
motor
work.
during music
He
hour.
needs a way to use the drill without
sense.
being heard. Alan begins softly playing his concertina, its notes drifting through the cells. Nearby, Frank pushes the drill into the wall for the first time. Chips and dust build up on the floor. It's working. Hours of progress are being made within seconds. Well-behaved inmates get an hour and a half to play music. Alan's instrument is hiding the noise of the drill. Frank scoops up the concrete and flushes it down the toilet. Suddenly, Alan hears several loud thuds coming from the hall. A guard turns the corner. He is walking directly towards them. Prisoners call him Boots because of the loud sound he makes while walking. He's one of, if not the strictest guard. Alan somehow needs to warn Frank. If he stops pumping, Frank's cover will be blown. He starts playing the concertina aggressively, kicking the cell bars. But Frank doesn't get the message. He's still digging.
Damn.
Without any systems,
Frank locked in,
communication
bro.
between team members is impossible. However, Udo makes that easy. It's an all-in-one management software for running your looks him up and down. Some prisoners are good at playing. Most are okay, but tonight, Alan stands out as the worst. The prison runs on strict order. Anything even slightly out of the ordinary raises immediate alarm bells. The guard scoffs. He walks directly towards Frank's cell. Alan has no other choice but to make the loudest sound yet. Boots looks inside. "What have you got there, Frank?" he asks. "My new magazine."
Oh.
Frank is chilling in his bed reading. His concertina is positioned in front of the vent. If the guard decides to search, it will be over. Boots nods and keeps moving. It's the
man.
closest
That's
call
insane.
yet. If they are to be the only prisoners to escape Alcatraz, they need to be much smarter.
Damn, I wonder how
With
they
steady
did
hands,
they got all these
Frank drags his
stories.
paintbrush along the canvas.
I'm gonna try to
He
pause
knows
us.
getting a hold of the materials
Trying to
for
get
the
some
vent
sleep
cover
tonight.
is raising suspicion. To make things worse, the marks from the digging are getting too large to be hidden by the musical instruments. Frank cleans his brush. All the guards know that he is painting a canvas of San Francisco. But that's exactly what Frank wants them to think. Earlier in the day, he gave the drill to Clarence and asked him to pass on a message to the others. "Frank, be ready. I have something for us soon. With it, they'll never catch our digging." Frank dips his brush into green paint mixture. He reaches down for a piece of cardboard. He stole this from his day job working in the brush shop. Frank paints the
brush shop,
corner
interesting.
and holds it up against the wall. A perfect match. Hours have gone into blending paint to make this exact color. It's only with these fake vents in place can they finally finish the tunnels unnoticed. Things are looking up,
Wow, this is
but like all
insane,
good
bro.
things, nothing lasts forever.
So they're
Frank
86%
stops
of the way,
drilling.
but it takes 60 days.
After months of progress, the vent is ready to give way. He gives a pull and it comes loose. After months of work, he's finally done it. Even better, the others are not far behind. Tomorrow, Alan will join him. Everyone now has a fake vent and a tunnel that is over 90% finished. Frank looks around to make sure the guards aren't nearby. He squeezes through, crawling
shit.
into the service tunnel. This corridor runs behind each cell. Without it, the escape plan won't work.
Dude, these guys really
Many months
drilled through a
back,
fucking
Alan was
wall.
working
No
here for
shot.
maintenance. He told Frank there was a secret room and where to find it. He spots the
It's
location
just so insane.
and breaks inside. This is the perfect place to build the escape equipment for the second step of their plan. Suddenly, Alan's music turns more tense and uneven. Their new signal that a guard inspection is coming. Frank has no time to waste. He needs to get back to his cell immediately. He hurries
Jeez.
down the pipes, then runs down the corridor and shuffles through his tunnel. He hears the footsteps in the main cell block. The guard has already walked past Alan's cell. Frank places his fake vent over the hole and darts for the bed. The guard looks inside. He made it.
Oh my
Now
God.
they have the perfect place to start the next phase. But before they can start building the escape equipment, they need a way to fool the guards during head counts, to make it look like they're still in their cells while they work in the secret room.
This is crazy because I've like learned about
Frank hears the water and chatter in the
bit of
shower
this like
room.
roughly. It's cool to
Everyone's
see it
allowed
animated.
to wash twice a week. He spots Alan and the brothers. "We need hair from the barber shop and mesh," says Frank. Suddenly, in the corner of his eye, Frank sees Boots pacing towards them. He moves back to his shower. The guard stops. They both lock eyes. "I'm watching you," Boots shouts. Many years ago, Frank was locked up in Atlanta Federal Prison. He watched for guard patrol weaknesses and identified the prison's blind spots. After multiple escape attempts, he finally broke free. But after a year on the run, he was caught and sent here. Boots leaves. "Clarence, I'll have it for you." Frank starts to walk away. John, "What for?" Frank, "If we're in the secret room during head counts, they'll notice. So, we'll each make a dummy head. That way, the guards will think we're asleep." John nods. This should give them all the cover they need. For the first time ever, the four men gather in the secret room. The cell tunnels are dug and hidden. Dummies are set in their
This is
beds.
insane, bro.
To build the right escape equipment, they first need to see what they are up against. Frank,
Like, okay, I learned about it a bit differently. One of the guys here, I believe, got like assigned a job, and this secret room was like a room that one of the guys had worked in. Like he was like, you know how like the prisoners had jobs. Like one of them was at a paintbrush area or brush shop. One was like builder or whatever. I think one worked at a barber shop. That's where they got the hair from. And this guy worked inside this room, so they found out that it connects to the room that he was already working in. So the guards knew he was working in there because that was his work. So from what I heard, he never like had to use the vents that they had, like the hole that they had created with the vents. He never had to use it because he was already allowed to go in the room during his like work hours. So what happened was the night that they decided to escape, he never ever actually had to use his vent. Like he cut a hole, but never had to actually go through it. And he found out it wasn't the right size. Like he wasn't able to fit through his vent, so he didn't make it out. I think Fern will like touch better on this, but
listen carefully.
to my knowledge.
First, we push through the vent above us. That takes us to the roof of the cell block. Then we move low across the bakery smokestack, slide down the pipe to the ground. From there, we cross the road, past the officers' clubhouse, and climb two 12-foot barbed wire fences. From here, we head towards the powerhouse and reach the water on the northeast shore. Alan chimes in, all without the guards seeing. "Yes," replies Frank. Swimming is suicide. On the shore, we'll inflate a raft and cross with life jackets and paddles. We just need to steal the parts. Frank and Ellen make eye contact. It's clear that stealing items to make the equipment will be their hardest challenge yet. Frank hears footsteps coming towards him. It's the librarian. Frank. Hey, I want to return this magazine. You had it for a week. It's not long, replies the librarian. All Frank needed was one page. Inside, it outlines how to craft different items out of rubber. It was a boring one.
Smart.
Responds Frank.
This dude used the library, bro.
This
Like,
could not be further
I
from
forget
the
so
truth.
smart. They're really using their resources.
Only 2 escapees have made it to the water. Due to the cold temperature and rough tides, they both died. Frank now knows how to make the most difficult escape equipment, the life jackets and raft. Librarian, you want to get a replacement? Only if it's useful, replies Frank. After months of sleepless nights, he just slept up. What do you mean by useful? Says the librarian. Never mind, replies Frank. He walks back to his bed. The book solved their problem of how to build the escape equipment, but his words may have set something far worse in motion.
But you could easily play that off. Just be like, yeah, I only
Frank
like learning about
strolls
things
around
that I think
slowly.
matters, you know, or something like that.
Today
You
is
easily
not
put
about
it off.
leisure. It's about preparation. During weekends, prisoners with good behavior are given a rare privilege, an hour and a half of freedom in the yard. A prisoner ahead of Frank drops his raincoat on the ground. He steps forward, picks it up, and quietly slips it on over his own. For the guards and prisoners, these coats are worthless, but for Frank, they are everything. Alan approaches. How many rubber coats have you got? Frank responds, right now, 2. There are 10 more in that secret room. Alan, we need 50 total?
50 or
Frank nods. Enough to build the raft and the life jackets. Alan gestures toward the factory. We can steal more from there. But before they can plan further,
How do they have this many
Frank
details?
looks over at Clarence
Some of this has
across
to
the
be made
yard.
up.
He's picking up someone else's coat. One prisoner spots him in the act and starts walking directly at him. A crowd begins to form. With such
Nice.
boredom inside, prisoners will use any excuse to start a fight. Frank and Alan rush forward, trying to defuse the situation before the guards arrive. One wrong move, and Clarence could be sent to solitary confinement. Frank pulls off the second coat. Hey, I have this one, he says, giving it to the prisoner. The prisoner shakes his head and starts walking away. That was close. They cannot afford
Damn.
to draw more attention to themselves.
Oh, here we go, baby.
The men gather in the secret room. The air smells of dust and hot metal. Frank presses the rubber life vest against a hot steam pipe. The heat makes them more durable, less likely to tear on the water. Plywood paddles lie on the floor, carefully shaped from stolen wood. Alan sets his modified concertina to the raft's valve, pumping a little air to check for leaks. One mistake will leave them stranded in the middle of the ocean. Ready? Frank says. Alan nods. Relief spreads through the men. Months of preparation, thefts, and close calls have brought them this far. Tomorrow
Damn,
is
this
the
is
big
like
day.
mad interesting.
They leave the room.
Sorry for not talking
Step
much.
2
I'm
is
actually,
complete.
I'm like tired, but I'm
Now
also really
comes the
interested.
hardest part,
You know?
getting off the island without being caught. Frank lies on his bunk and closes
You
his
look like a
eyes.
Kendall.
Little does he know, a single mistake will cost them greatly.
Wait, what?
The final head count of the day is complete. Frank hears the guard's footsteps disappear. He places the dummy head in place. They have agreed to meet in the secret room only a few minutes from now. Frank crawls through his vent quietly. He waits for the others in the corridor. His heart beats rapidly. Today, he either becomes a free man or dies trying. In front of him, Clarence emerges. Clarence, where are the others? He whispers. They will be here soon, replies Frank. John crawls through his vent and walks over. Now they wait for Alan. 5 minutes pass, then 10 minutes, but he is still not here. At 11:30, the tide is perfect to
Gotta go, my
carry
boy.
them quickly to shore.
Gotta
The
go.
longer they wait, the more they risk losing this advantage.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
Frank walks to Alan's vent. He whispers, "What's wrong?" Silence. Then, "Last night, my vent was loose. I had to seal it with extra cement, but now it's locked in place." Frank gives it a kick, but Alan has been chipping away for the last 10 minutes. It won't budge.
Damn.
Frank has John and Clarence walk over. "You two stay here and help him remove the vent. I will prepare the gear," Frank whispers. He climbs the pipes and enters the secret room. The life jackets sit ready alongside the raft, paddles, and makeshift flashlights.
It's a
He looks
Dorito
over at
chipper?
the raft. It's slightly deflated. Some of the air they pumped in from yesterday has escaped. Clarence is using a metal pipe from behind the wall to loosen the vent. They can't break it entirely, as it will be obvious to the guards. Alan is working on his side too. However, without music hour, he can't be too loud. The brothers look at each other. Do they betray Alan and leave him behind, or stay longer and help? Tonight is the only chance they will ever
Have to
get.
go, bro. Yeah. Gotta
Clarence, "We need to leave. You have to finish on your own." Alan responds, "I only need a little longer." Frank sees the brothers enter the room. "Where's Alan?" Frank asks. "It was too noisy. We had to stop." Frank's heart drops. Alan is one of his earliest friends inside the prison. Leaving him now feels unforgivable. Clarence, "If Alan breaks through soon, we can wait for him at the shore. Right now, there is no time to waste. The raft has
Yeah, you
lost some
gotta
air,
go,
but
bro.
that's normal. To make
Gotta
the
go.
tides, we need to leave now," urges Frank. They pick up the escape equipment and stand under the vent leading to the roof. Frank removes the fake soap bolt that he created weeks earlier. Then he pushes the vent upward. That's when it happens. Frank freezes, heart pounding. It's over. The guards have been alerted. But then, another bang rings out. Below, prisoners shout and pound their feet. The guards order silence, but the noise only grows. The
Oh my
inmates
God.
won't stop. "No point in
What?
turning back now," Frank whispers.
Like
They
right
start
at
running
chaos.
across the rooftop. Multiple bright spotlights sweep the area,
Oh, they
cutting
knew they
through
were
the
leaving?
dark. A beam of light passes. Frank
Oh, they kept skipping.
sees an
Oh, I'm missing
opportunity
them. Oh my
and
god.
sprints.
It's like a video game, dude.
But the equipment is slowing him down. The light swings back towards him. Frank hides behind cover. That was close.
Alright, how did they
Frank
get this
knows
much
Alan
detail?
will
I
follow
actually
the
don't
same route,
understand.
so he leaves a vest for him. If Alan can break through the vent, the vest will give him a chance to cross the sea. They keep running towards the edge of the building. Frank
I'm a little
reaches the
confused.
bakery drain pipe and starts to climb down.
Wait, down the pipe?
If one
Holy
guard
shit.
sees them now, a bullet to the head would swiftly follow. Frank has reached the ground. The others aren't far behind. Now they need to make it to the powerhouse. Staying low, they run across the road. They throw the equipment and hoist one another over. Frank leads the charge, racing towards the sea, his heart pounding. He purposefully chose this location as it's a blind spot for all the searchlights. He glances
Wow.
back, looking for any sign of Alan.
How do they know though? How do you
Nothing.
know that's a searchlight if you're not out at
Now
night?
they need to inflate the raft. John keeps watch as Clarence starts putting on his life
Doesn't really
jacket.
make sense to me. I don't know.
Every minute passes so quickly. They inflate the raft and carry it into the ocean. The water is freezing. It first needs to be tested in shallow waters. Clarence jumps in. If the raft sinks, they will need to swim. A near-death sentence in these waters. John passes the paddles to Clarence. It floats. Everything has gone according to plan, except for one man. Frank looks around desperately. He still can't see Alan. "I can't wait any longer." Deep.
Do you think since they had all that chaos, the other dude, Alan, Alan, do you think he could have started drilling just to like, make it out like under the noise? I don't know. I feel like he was probably really scared though. I feel like he was scared. There would be really like your heart's already beating, like you're already like so nervous, and then this shit happens. Like holy.
Down, Frank knows it. He makes the hard decision. Let's go. They push off, disappearing into the darkness. But did they make it to land?
Bro, this bitch so
Alan did make it to the roof that night, but he was too late.
Oh god, bro.
Unable to see the
This noise
supplies
gonna
left
kill
for
me.
him, he climbed back down into his cell and went to sleep. Alcatraz guards didn't realize the escape had taken place until the early hours of the morning. Alarms blared and search parties started looking in every direction. 2 days later, they found their first clue. A plastic bag washed up 200 yards.
What, 2 days later? Wait, what did I just miss?
Climbed back down. Did they make it to land? Alan did make it to the roof that night, but he was too late. Unable to see the supplies left for him, he climbed back down into his cell and went to sleep.
Damn.
Alcatraz guards didn't realize the escape had taken place until the early hours of the morning. Alarms blared and search parties started looking in every direction. 2 days later, they found their first clue. A plastic
So he did
bag
get
washed
out.
up
That's
200
crazy.
yards off Angel Island. Inside was a wallet belonging to one of the Anglin brothers, complete with family photos.
How do they have a wallet in
Then,
prison?
a week later,
What is no made of
pieces
sense?
of a raincoat surfaced near the Golden Gate Bridge. After 10 days of searching in the air, land, and sea, the FBI officially declares that the men likely drowned. However, without any bodies, the investigation still remains open until today. As the news broke, rumors started to circulate.
That was in
Witnesses
California.
claiming to spot Frank in Oklahoma,
tripping.
Indiana, and Ohio. As for the Anglin brothers, no one knows if they ever saw their mother again. Yet, every Mother's Day, she received flowers from an anonymous source until her death in 1973. At her funeral, it was reported that 2 unknown women in heavy makeup stood in mourning from a distance, with bystanders saying that both had a very similar resemblance to John and Clarence in disguise.
I did hear about that. Is it the end? Oh my god, what a video, dude. Holy, yeah, I did hear that they I did hear that the funeral had a ton of like FBI undercover guys who were looking for them because they thought they would show up for their mother's, funeral. And I mean, like you just said, there was 2 women with heavy makeup. I don't know. That's like sus. There's also like pictures where people have like pictures and like other stuff like where it looks like them, like in South America, like pictures of what the escapees would look like from like the 80s, like pictures of them like in the 80s or 90s, like what they would. You get my point. There's also a guy who was like, I think early 2000s. He was on his deathbed. What was it? I think he was on his deathbed, and he said like, "Oh, I was on a boat, and I helped these guys escape. Like I saw them, and I helped them escape. And the night of the escape, there was an officer off duty who did say that, like he stated in the initial investigation that he did see like a white boat that was like near the shore, and that was the same boat that that man on his deathbed was talking about. But he had claimed, I believe, that he had like taken the trio on his boat, drove in somewhere, like not drove in, but what do you call boating? Boated somewhere? But these news is tripping me out, bro. Boated somewhere, and he said he killed him. So I don't know. That's weird, but nah, great video from Fern. This guy knows what he's doing. Insane escape. Do you guys think they made it out? I don't know. I want to think they did, and the fact that we haven't heard anything, I think, proves it. But again, it's like 60s. Even if they found a body, like it'd probably be like really eroded, and I don't know if they had like technology to like DNA test and all that kind of stuff. Which I believe DNA testing came out in like 1995 or 1999. But most of the time they do carry like samples of like dead bodies to like later on find them. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. It's a great video. Thank you everyone for tuning in. More videos to come? Question mark. Peace.